Hey there guys, and welcome in this new video. Today I'll be showcasing Grave Finance, a protocol that is pegged to 0.1 Avax via SignalRush. But before we go through this project, that has also a very interesting project because it has literally come back from the grave, but we are going to talk about that in a few minutes. Before that, I wanted to just say that if you guys want to support me, you can like and subscribe to the channel, because I see that many of you watch my videos but are not subscribed, and you can also leave a comment to support me. If you like the review, you can just say how a feedback of it. And I would also like to shortly talk about the Defi Hub. The Defi Hub is a Discord server with 750 people. Here you can find a spotlight of projects. These are their spotlighted projects, but here they give you alpha about all the cool DeFi projects. As you can see here, they have a list of projects such as Gladiator News, DeFi Academy, Murica Money, Mumipunks, Grave Finance. They have a lot of projects here and you can find real alpha on them. So guys, make sure to join their server, it's in the description if you guys like this space. But now let's go back to Grave Finance. So they operate in an L1 and L2 Tom fork. The L1 is Grave Finance, the L2 is Zombie Finance, as you can see here, that is built upon Grave Finance, and they are both pegged to 0.1 AVAX. So this story is actually crazy. So the devs abandoned the project, and it was completely dead. I mean, the price was falling, the devs were not supporting it anymore, so it was taken from dead. But then two community members stepped in to take over the project, and after they did, the prices of the tokens rose a lot. I mean, they rose like 10x or something, and now they only need a 3x to reach peg with low liquidity. And they also have I mean, if they reach peg with low liquidity, they have a massive upside and low downside. So guys, make sure to support them if you also want to make some money, because this protocol is called Grave Finance and it has literally come back from the dead. Let's go through their white paper now to see what they are actually about. So, Grave Finance is an algorithmic stablecoin protocol pegged to the price of 0.1 AVAX. The protocol's underlying mechanism dynamically adjusts Grave's supply, pushing its price up or down relative to the price of AVAX. Much like Tomb, Grave Finance is a multi-token protocol which consists of following three tokens: Grave, G-Share and G-Bond. So this is the protocol that is supposed to maintain the peg. G-Share is the token that needs to help Grave, and it is also the one who shows how much the investors believe in this protocol. If it's higher, it means that a lot of people believe in this protocol, and it is usually around 50 in Tom forks, but it is actually 2500 in Tomb. I mean, the original Tomb, because there are a lot of people there. They have a TVL of $300 million. That's really crazy. And Grave Bonds are a token that are used to help Grave reach back the peg. One of the primary shortcomings of the past algorithmic tokens has been a lack of use cases, leaving no good reason for somebody to want to use or hold them. In order to successfully maintain the peg in the long term, the Grave team will maintain a focus on innovation around enhanced functionality and use cases. That is really cool. They have launched the 9th of March, so it was around 2 months ago, but this has just been revived. So guys, you can still join them, because don't worry about not being early. Some people have already joined, but now they are really coming back to life, so it's like a brand new start. FAQ. So, what's the easiest flow to follow for compounding rewards? If Grave is over the peg, buy Grave and pair it with Avax to provide liquidity, and stake your Grave Avax LP in the Nightmare to earn G-Share rewards. Take your G-share and stake them in the asylum to earn inflationary grave rewards. Sell half of your earned grave for Avax and compound it back into the grave Avax LP. Boom, here you have profit. If grave is under the peg, buy grave and exchange it for G-bond. If you are LPing, you can break the LP to exchange grave for G-bond and use the remaining Avax to buy grave to also exchange for G-bond. Now you have to have a big fat bag of G-bond, and you have also helped bring grave back above peg so that the asylum can resume printing. Sell G-bond for a redemption bonus once grave is back over peg, above 1.1 TWAP. And here you have profit again. What is 50-50? 50-50 is the method best suited to provide stability for both the platform and for your underlying investment. By boosting liquidity, the 50-50 strategy reduces price volatility and helps grave stay above the peg for longer to keep the asylum printing. This, in turn, attracts new investors and keeps the ecosystem growing. When you claim your grave rewards in the asylum, sell 50% of them for Avax. When you go to provide grave Avax LP, take the entirety of your remaining grave with the Avax you have just purchased. There are so many auto-compounding vaults, what should I do? If you are in grave Avax LP auto-compounding vault, you are creating by pressure on grave. If you are in a G-share Avax LP auto-compounding vault and you also hold G-share elsewhere, the auto-compounding vault will be suppressing its price since it is continually selling G-share. And guys, always proceed with caution. They do not recommend putting in more than 5% of what you're staking on grave into a single auto-compounder, because DeFi involves risks. DeFi is not regulated, so of course it implies risks. And always remember guys, I do not provide financial advice, as I say in description and bio, and I'm not a financial advisor. I just showcase projects that I see and I like, but still do your own research and make sure, when you invest money, you can already see that as lost. If you see that as lost already, it will mean that you are already prepared. If the team rugs or if price goes to zero, you don't need to be angry about that. Of course you need to, but you need to remember that this is your money and you do not invest your life savings. So yeah, that's it. Invest only what you can afford to lose, as everybody says. What is an expansionary epoch? An expansionary epoch is the amount of grave that is printed by G-share in order to increase the total circulating supply. To simplify the explanation with a hypothetical example, let's just say an epoch is 3 days long and there are $100 in the circulating supply. If money printer grows supply by 10% each day, at the end of 3 days you would have $133. Then let's say emissions decrease to 5%, and then you will have $153 at the end of the second epoch. So their tokens here are grave, G-share and G-bond, as we saw. They're already their platform epoch duration is 6 hours, and deposits are lock G-share for 6 epochs and grave rewards for 3 epochs. Grave rewards claim will lock stake the G-share for 6 epochs, and next grave rewards can only be claimed for 3 epochs later. Distribution of grave during expansion: 100% for asylum G-share stakers. They also have these illustrations that look very cool, and as I always say, I only invest in protocols with good illustrations because it makes them look more legit, and I like what they are doing here. So G-bond are unique tokens that help stabilize grave price around peg, so 0.1 Avax. You can purchase them only when grave is not only when it is below peg. If it is above peg, G-bonds are deactivated and they will then be re-put online if TWAP of Grave is below 1. Every new epoch on contraction periods, G-bonds are issued in the amount of 3% of the current Grave circulation supply, with a max debt amount of 35%. This means that if bonds reach 35% of circulating supply of Grave, no more bonds will be issued. Why should you buy G-bonds? You should invest in them because, not invest in them, hold G-bonds, because the idea is to reward the G-bond buyers for helping the protocol while also protecting the protocol from being manipulated by being players. So after you buy G-bond using Grave, you get two possible ways to get your Grave back. Sell back your G-bond for Grave while PEG is between 1 and 1.1. Sell back your G-bond for Grave while PEG is above 1.1 with a bonus redemption rate. The longer you hold, the more both the protocol and you benefit from G-bond. So that's really interesting to see. They also have a DAO fund, and that is controlled by the developers, and then it will later move to a governance system to vote on using funds in a certain areas of the project and outside, including investments and marketing. Contracts and wallet. Guys, here we can check all of the contracts. We can see, for example, here Grave, how much money is here, how many people are approving, and we can see here that there is a high amount of activity. 613 addresses are holding Grave at the moment, and it has a supply of 88,000, almost 89,000. So that's really cool. And let's check out their roadmap now. So soon they will be listed on CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, DBank and Zepper. They are also listed on YieldWolf, and they already have a KYC by Ragdoc, and this is one of the most important KYC companies. Soon they are going to have an audit that's in their roadmap of Q1, Q2. Soon Q2 ends, so they are going to do all of these things. They will get listed on Defi, that is a platform for farming. They will start phase 2 of marketing, and Zombie Finance will complete protocol launch, and then Zombie and Z-Share listings will be on CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, DeFi Llama, DBank and Zapper. Zombie Finance will then get an audit, listed on YieldWolf, listed on Defi, and all the rest, and then they will start a big marketing campaign. What is Zombie Finance? Well, we already talked about Zombie Finance in the means that we said that it is a layer 2 protocol, and it is a deflationary pegging mechanism that supports both Zombie Finance and Grave Finance protocols. About rebates. Rebates are enabled when Zombie is at TWAP more than 1.01 Avax. Rebates allows for bonding assets. Bond liquidity, G-Share, Avax LP, 90,000x multiplier, bond tokens, WAVAX 90,000x multiplier, and also for G-Share. By bonding these assets, all tokens are removed from circulation by barring them to the treasury. And your Zombie Finance reward tokens will be linearly vested for 3 days. So that helps with, this creates a sell pressure, but it gives time for the developers and the team members to do marketing and make sure to create a buying pressure that contrasts the selling pressure that will be on for the next 3 days when the rewards will be vested. Zombie Finance reward tokens are replenished at the start of every epoch. Here we can check the contracts of Zombie Finance. So guys, they are also going to audit this code in the future, and this is very interesting and cool because they have just revived. So this is the start of a brand new protocol. The protocols of Grave Finance and Zombie Finance are finally back from the grave. So guys, I hope you liked this video, and I hope you will have a nice day. Cheers!